What would the pretty ladies like? 5-second rule. Got it. Guys, family restaurant. What is happening? That is not appropriate. Still got tons of work to do. Oh. Customers, no soup for you.
You guys have got to try this game. This latest update is crazy. We're playing Medieval Dynasty New Settlement, and this tavern minigame levels up the entire experience.
Enjoy your bowl of soup with your bowl of hair.
The question is, did they make such an overpowered moneymaker that the game is out of balance now?
Ah, more customers. Enjoy, eat. There's plenty for everyone.
Before answering that question, I'll show you some tips to make the most out of this experience while you can, and I'll even show you the basics of how you can get a tavern and the most efficient ways to run it with my pro tip guide. Running the tavern is pretty simple. You just walk up to the cute little sign and switch it to open. After a moment, customers start rolling in.
We have a first customer. Hello and welcome. He was rude.
They designed the tavern game to ease you into the process. At first, when you ask the customers what they want, the only thing they'll order is soup. And oftentimes, it's beet soup. In the words of Michael Scott,
no one wants a beet. You know what we should make? We should make candy soup. Could really use some candy soup right about now.
Although this sounds obvious, you figure out pretty fast that people want all kinds of different soups, and you only have one cooking station. Of course, you can deny them the non-menu item, but they'll leave and someone else will come in. They'll likely not want what you're offering either.
Yeah, get out. Get out, okay? Not in my place, all right?
Bye.
Meaning more time will go by where you're not making money. That leads us to pro tip number 1. Before opening the tavern, spend the night or day before preparing 5 or 10 bowls of each kind of soup. That means that you'll need lots of ingredients and plenty of bowls to put them in. I set the pre-made soups out on the bar counter, almost like a cafeteria. After you serve a set number of people, the orders start getting more complicated. Now they want something to drink in a cup or a mug. This is where things start to get kind of tricky.
Aww. Don't break stuff in my tavern.
Pro tip number 2. Anyone you serve requesting clay must be watched like a hawk. Whether it's a glitch, intended, or simply overlooked, some of the customers will break the clay on their way out.
You can have the water on one condition. Don't smash it. Jeez.
I kind of hope they don't fix this. It adds some flair to the process.
I'm thinking I might not have prepared enough. What do you do? He didn't even leave a good tip. Jeez.
When you reach level 3, the guests will now start asking for baked goods. Just like how you pre-made the soup, I would recommend making plenty of baked goods before you open. Flour ain't cheap, and it's a pretty long process to grow wheat and make it yourself, so you'll want to make sure and have a large wheat farm.
I didn't know I was going to have to be the busboy, too. Good grief.
Pro tip number 3. Make a couple of ingredient crates outside to put resources and completed meals in that can be quickly taken when you run out. You see food, I see money. So back to our question, is this an unbalanced moneymaker? My first day of working, I made around 1,000 gold and have made 1,000 since.
I'll get you beetroot. You need a refill on that water? No? You good? Okay. All right.
But considering all the resources and time it took to prepare, I think it equates really well to the time it takes to make iron tools and hop around selling them and waiting for vendors to have money again. The difference is, anytime you want to open the shop, you start making money immediately. It may only be 7 gold here and there or 75 gold here and there, but they come in every few minutes. You can go all in like I did, or just make one thing and turn people away that don't ask for what's on the menu.
It's not on the menu. I can't get it.
In Medieval Dynasty, I was starting to wonder what I was going to do with all these resources I have. I've farmed, I've cooked, I've developed quite the overstock. I've overstocked on apples and meat and different things, and baking took too long to go through the process of getting wheat and turning it into baked goods for selling. But that's all gone now. I now have a reason to continue gathering resources and growing my farm. It really recharged my experience. This waiter thing is surprisingly fun.
Thank you, sir. What, no tip?
I need to know if you guys think waiting tables in Medieval VR is as entertaining as I do. Leave me a comment. I mean, we have Job Simulator and Power Wash Simulator, and they're amazing. Why not Medieval Waiter Simulator?
Eat. Yes, there you go. Slide in like Michael Jackson.
So how do you get this new tavern minigame? It's a free update, and you can play it in either adventure or sandbox mode. But the tavern is a quest in adventure mode, so you'll have to wait if you haven't completed it. Otherwise, you need to have access to wood planks, whether you buy them or make them in a woodshed yourself. You can't build the tavern without wood planks. So if you haven't played Medieval Dynasty VR yet, the tavern might take a few hours of play before you get there. But believe me, it's worth it.
Congratulations, sir. You are my 100th customer. Let's get you your jug of water. Don't break it, okay?
I have a discount in the description if you've never played it.
It's time to open for business.
Oh, I forgot to mention pro tip number 4. There's no need to ask each individual what they want. You can speed up how much money you make by just checking the icon and serving them. But don't be slow. They'll leave if you don't at least talk to them. I did find a food that I could not make for them. You can buy it at the tavern in Wolf Hill, but flatbread with no onions or meat is not something I've figured out how to make. If you can and I'm missing it, let me know in the comments. There seems to be no penalty for turning people away or giving them the wrong food. They just won't eat it and won't pay you.
Who wanted beetroot soup? Huge hit, sir. I'm sorry about the wait. Just hadn't cooked any up yet. You don't care.
The update comes as a surprise to most. They've teased crossbows and other cool features to come in the future, but personally, I've always been disappointed in the lackluster experience of the tavern.
I know it's cold out there, guys. This'll warm you up, I promise. Okay?
This totally changes things. One of the best things about Medieval Dynasty New Settlement is that the devs have a Discord and they listen. They've made several changes and updates based on what the community wants.
I liked you and your buddy. Y'all were good. Y'all were good customers. You come back anytime you want.
And they already had a high rating on the MetaQuest store from launch, so it's good to see they're open-minded even though they gained success before people were giving them suggestions. For the time being, the tavern seems to only have 3 levels. There's a board behind the bar that has your progress. Just make sure no one goes back there. That's employees only.
Get out from behind the counter. Okay, nobody gets behind the counter, okay?
At the top, it shows you your current level. Next is your progress of how many people you need to serve, and then there's the total people you've served. You start with 2 tables where only 2 people sit at a time, and orders are soup only.
All right, for the couple of weirdos that want to eat beets for lunch.
Then you upgrade to level 2, and you have 3 tables where they start asking for drinks.
A cup of water. And what do you want? You want some kind of drink too? A mug and a jug.
And after that, level 3 has 4 tables with the requests for soup, drinks, and baked goods. Now, not everyone will come in wanting multiple things, but some will just come in, get water, pay you 7 gold, and break your cup.
What are y'all doing? Like animals.
Then some better customers will come in wanting a pie, and they'll give you 75 gold just for that.
The things you see in the restaurant business, I tell you what.
Again, the balance is really well thought out because baking takes a lot of effort, therefore it should cost more money, whereas water's just dipping a cup into, well, water. Oh, speaking of which, here's pro tip number 5. I feel like an idiot for even having to say this, but there's a barrel of water between the wheat grinder and the baking station. I didn't see it until my second day or so. It was always a covered barrel before the update, so I didn't even think to look there. No need to build a well close by, like I did. Just take the cups and dip them in the barrel that's right there in the tavern.
It's dark, guys. We gotta close it. Goodbye. All right, sorry, ladies. I know you were trying to enjoy night out without the men, but it's time to close. Yep, goodbye.
Have a
See you
good
later.
day.